This is a big topic for a short video like this, so this is meant to be somewhat of a messy introduction and brief overview into what I could talk about for hours, and that is the strange world of psychosis mixed with what I consider genuine spiritual experiences. But first, a disclaimer. The purpose of this isn't to convince anyone that anything spiritual or hallucinogenic is real. Just listen if you'd like to know what it's like to honestly not know. This is a tricky subject because, of course, someone diagnosed with mental illness of the hallucinatory type is generally not supposed to go fishing for confirmation or validation of the things that they see as real. I ask the spiritual among you not to try to convince me it's actually demons or angels, or that I don't need medication. Also, I'm already seeing a doctor who I am open with about this, so I ask the skeptics among you not to tell me to get help. I'm diagnosed schizoaffective, I'm on medication, I've had my vision checked for retina issues, and generally I am in a good place, so do not worry. Jumping straight into it, I'll start not with any visual hallucination, but one of the most unexplainable things to happen to me. It happened when I was taken to the hospital in a state of psychosis, then becoming possessed in a sense that I was not in control of my body, and in a half-conscious state, being shown how to sing. It would take an entire video to explain what happened, but I've never been able to sing, but something in my head was showing me how to produce a song perfectly, so I was basically singing in tongues. I actually woke up to myself singing, and it sounded beautiful to me, and the nurse later told me I had a beautiful voice. But I can't sing, only that time. Moving on, I've experienced a sixth sense where I could somehow detect 3D objects flying into my immediate space without actually seeing anything. Imagine the feeling of having a bee fly by you, except you don't see it. You have some kind of radar that picks it up. And sometimes you can perceive its living emotional state. It's there, it's alive, and it's full of joy. Kind of like the feeling of seeing someone laugh and smile at you. These instances are rare, but not at all subtle. But mostly I see lights. All kinds of lights that flash usually for no more than a second. All different colors, some small and sharp, some soft and gentle. Sometimes they're an impossible mix of two or more colors, or metallic, or blacker than the dark room that they appear in. I used to see black dots shooting like bullets across the room, either along the contours of the ceiling, or shooting straight down from above like a landing, or shooting back up like a departure. Made me think there was some kind of unseen highway in the room. Few times I've seen them appear like a slow golden shooting star, like when I was lying in bed thinking about fairies and elementals, and you can laugh at that, but that was the first time I saw a golden light appear moving in an arc crescent at the end of my bed. I was so freaked out I ran to the bathroom and asked whatever it was to stop. I regret that because it was actually really cool. Now I'm going to be a bit honest with you. If you were to ask me right now, face to face, do you think your hallucinations are real? And by real, I mean that they have some kind of otherworldly intelligence behind them. I would say to you, out of diplomacy, oh, well, they do seem real, but I know I have an illness, so it's just confusing, and so of course I know they might not be. But deep down, if I'm being 100% honest, I know and fully believe that they are real intelligent entities of some nature. I genuinely can't not. I've tried. Is this a part of the delusional nature of my illness? Perhaps. But this confidence in knowing does not feel like the other delusions I've suffered. I've suffered a number of far-out delusions, like that I'm going to burn in hell forever, or that the FBI was after me, or that I was Jesus, and the list goes on. But with the lights, it feels more like an unavoidable conclusion that I've reached over the decade of interacting with them. They're simply highly interactive. I'd have to dedicate a whole video to explain, but I'll go into one example. Like one night, early in my experience with the lights, I was sitting alone in the kitchen in the dark. I hadn't seen a hallucination light in at least 20 minutes. Ahead of me, I could see the neon hot pink light on the refrigerator, just one of the lights on the ice control panel. I asked if the lights were real for them to produce a light just as bright as the one I was looking at. And literally a second later, I see an absolutely brilliant and beautiful violet light flash right next to the pink one. Just as bright, just as big, and unlike the almost dirty electrical look of the pink light, this was so much more pure and gentle in contrast. It's just things like this that stick with you and make you think they're not really random. Anyway, fast forward to now, I hadn't seen a lot of lights in the past week, or the last couple days especially, until the moment I mentioned to my friend that I probably scared them away, and then I saw a few. And then as I started working on the script, I'm seeing a lot again. Go figure. I'm running out of time, but suffice to say, I am a believer in spiritual things, not just because of the lights. I've had more spiritual experiences than I can count, and it might be fun to talk about them more, but I'll wait until I see the response to this video. If it's negative, I might just chicken out and go back to talking about BreadTube. Who knows? Bye.